this literally changed everything for me. Like this got me from competing with all the like in the red ocean into actually having like real clients and working with all the biggest names. Um, we ran out of water, but I don't know, man. We'll find a way. We'll find a way. But Jesus. But listen, I was 7, like literally 17 years old. I was. It was in. It was in 2023 or something. Imagine. So I was spamming all these like hundreds of emails, literally hundreds of emails and applications. All these applications. I remember there were these apps called like Fiverr and what was the name of what? I forgot the name, but you get them this freelancing sites and everything. So I'll be like literally spamming hundreds of them, like hundreds of applications, and get nothing back. I swear to God, like I used to get nothing back. Like I barely made. I I don't know. I stayed on that shit for I don't know, man, almost a year or something, and made way less than like $3,000, literally. But imagine within 4 months, I don't know, 4 or 5 months, that it all changed. So if if you were like today, we got a lot of shit. By the way, we got, bro, we got Professor today. You could call me Professor. You could call me Professor Brown. You could call me Professor Brown. Whatever you want to call me. But anyways, today we got a lot of shit. We got a lot of shit to talk about. Like I'm gonna give you the full blueprint. Okay, we're gonna talk. By the way, it's deep. Okay, so buckle up. It's seriously. This is this literally changed everything for me. I'm giving you free game, bro. I'm literally giving you free game. So I don't care. Like if you could be a developer, like editor, like you could be anything, a script writer. I don't get like you could be anything, literally anything. You can. This is how you get noticed and how you make connections and stand out of the crowd and get whatever you want from the prospect. So like I said, you could be a script writer, you could be a video editor, you could be anything. This is just the easiest blueprint that changed everything for me. So let's get into it. Professor Brown, baby. All right. So the first thing before we start, let's make a deal, okay? This is a step zero, okay? Let's have a deal. You're going to fucking stop sending them generic emails. That's where we're gonna start. Promise. Okay. Once we get that out of the way, the first step. Where's my? I gotta wipe this shit out. It gotta be crispy clear. Oh my fucking god. Okay. So the first step, you can see, right? Oh, okay. Step one. The first step is gonna be target. What I love to call target. By the way, none of this shit. Let me. Why is my computer? Okay. First of all, step one, target. None of the things like the terms that I use are not really technical terms. Okay, you could they're interchangeable. You could I use them because just to simplify the things that I don't normally name them or anything because I intuitively just use them. But for you, I give them some names. So yeah, you can name them yourself if you want. Doesn't matter. So step one is target. Identifying your target. Identifying your target. Identify your target. So, mm, All right, all right. Don't ask me what position I am in, by the way. This like one leg up there, one leg here, all this for you. Listen, that's what she said. Anyways, identify your target. This is the part I would like to call the first one is solo hunting. The second one is bulk hunting. Listen up, bro. Hunting. Solo hunting is when you are looking for particularly somebody, like you are targeting somebody. Let's say you're targeting Mr. Beast in particular. So this is when you're solo hunting, you're like looking for like particularly somebody and you know your exact target. Mr. Beast, he has, I don't know, 400 million followers. He has, it could be anything. By the way, this is just an example. It could be a book writer that you're looking for. It could be a like client, like real estate. It could be anything online. So solo hunting. This is, by the way, we have to write networking 101. Don't mind my writing and shit. I'm terrible at this. 101. So this is it. Identify your target. Solo hunting and bulk hunting. These are, like I said, these are just made up names just to simplify the concept. Mr. Beast. So this is solo hunting, particularly you're looking for him. The reason why I put them in two different, like separate, I separated them is it'll definitely make it way more easier for you next time, like on the next step, to move forward and identify things that I'm going to talk about. It's going to be very crucial to have them laid down this way and get this out of the way, just to get it out of the way. So solo hunting is that where when you have a particularly one person or entity or whatever you are targeting. And bulk hunting is when you're looking for, like, you don't have particularly any target, but it's like a niche. Let's say a niche or whatever you want to call it. It's like, for example, you are looking for a not particularly Mr. Beast, but a vlogger, or yeah, let's say a vlogger or a gaming. Yeah, exactly. Let's say a gamer, a gaming YouTuber, gaming YouTuber with, let's say, over a million, over a million subs. So this, now you've identified the niche and the person and everything and the subscriber, but you're not looking for exactly like a particularly for a one person there. So it could be anybody who fits this description. So the reason why I called it bulk hunting is because it almost is feels like hunting a community rather than hunting. By the way, I know the word is very direct and blunt and all that shit, but you get the point. Whatever, we, in some way we're hunting, whether you like it or not. So this is it. The first ever step. This is like a community because, like I said, it's gonna be very crucial to have them separated for the next step. So first of all, just step one, your target. Are you solo hunting or bulk hunting? Get that out of the way. If it's so, now let's say, oh my god, my ass is hurting, burning. Pause. Anyways, let me wipe this off. Like, note this down. I don't know. Do whatever. Like, get this out of the way. So, oh my gosh. So, assuming that you got it out of the way, the second step is gonna be the thing that I would love to call target target list and I almost fucking forgot that shit. Target list and target ladder or target circle, whatever you want to call it. Circle. So let me tell you what this is. Target list is, let's say you for the first is you have identified your, oh my god, I'm slowly getting out of the frame. I yeah, you identify your target. Let's say your target is, there are two, like we said, the solo one, and the other one is, you couldn't see that, right? Oh, here it is. Oh my fucking god, I almost got out of frame. The solo one, and then there is this one, bulk. Okay, you, it's either one of these, right? You have identified your target. Let's say it's a solo one. So for a solo one, let's say, what the fuck does target list and target circle mean for the solo one? Target list is the people and all, literally, let me get this shit out of the way. I get you back when I need you. So target list is literally all the people who are in that person's circle. Assuming that you are going for the solo hunting, you, for the target list, it's gonna be all the people who are in that person's circle. Bro, this is very crucial. Listen, it could be his driver. It could be his, I don't know, granny, auntie. It could be his friends, coworkers, assistants, anybody. It could be anyone. It doesn't matter. Anyone you could get their contact. Whatever type of contact it could, like, it could be personal contacts like WhatsApp or their number or social media, anything. We will talk about it more and how, like, what I mean by that and how you do everything. Come down, come to that. But just know that this is the second 1.2, let's say, or one and a half step. Once you identified your target, is to identify whether it's the solo or the bulking one. And once you get the solo one, or let's say bulking or solo, we come to the bulking one. Let's just take the solo one. Now you're looking for particularly one person, let's say Mr. Beast. So you are now, Mr. Beast is the target. Now you come to the target list and target circle. I'll explain what it is, what I mean by the target circle. But the target list is listing down every single person that Mr. Beast had ever spoken to. If you want it that bad, you will do it. Okay? Not necessarily every single person, you get the point, but anybody in his circle. And this, the reason we do this is going to make sense pretty soon, by the way. But just to give you a teaser, it's the red ocean and blue ocean shit. Because when it's the red ocean you are swimming in, you're gonna be bombarded with all the other competitors. It's gonna be tough for you to stand out. So if you're going for the direct, like directly doing the reason, directly doing the emails and everything, you're not gonna get no response. And that's the reason why we made that deal to start with, to never do that emailing shit. So what you do with Mr. Beast is you go through his emails, you go through whatever, like his videos, and find out like who he is close to and whatever. Like it's easy to identify this. You could go literally one additional game. This is a side quest that I'm doing, side quest of knowledge, wisdom. What you do is you go to their Instagram or Twitter, whatever. You go to their following, whom they're following, and you go through the list and you check those profiles and you go through all the profiles that they are following. It's not all of them, but the top ones you can check. And trust me, talking from experience, you will soon see either a mention or a photo they posted, or somebody liked their whatever, or they mentioned their name, or they taken pictures with them, whatever. You will find some link between the person who is getting followed by Mr. Beast and Mr. Beast. So, but what do I mean by this is that it'll give you a hint to, as to like what they are to Mr. Beast. So if it might be assistant or a girlfriend or whatever they are to him, they're gonna be that link. So if you just keep going through like the people he follows, like soon enough you'll come across that. So that's one of the ways to get the target list. So one way or another, you go through that, you gather all the list, all the people, you put it all in a list. Like if you want it that bad, because you're gonna have to do it one way or another. So you do this, assuming you got this under control. Um, what you do next is you the next step is the target circle, right? Here it is. The target circle is literally like it's a radar. I don't even know what a radar is, but it just feels like something that would fit in. But it's like if this is the target circle, let's say this is Mr. Beast. I know that guy is big. He's like 6'5" or something, but I don't care. Like he's this Mr. Brown decided. This is Mr. Beast. And this is his circle. Your target list is the amount of those people, right? The list is the amount of people like are in his circle. So all these dots. And I don't know if you can see these dots, but let me make them. Now you can see them. A bit bold. So this are the lists. Let's say Mr. Beast assistant, you got her contact, her LinkedIn, and you go through her LinkedIn and you will find more people who work for Mr. Beast. It could be their cameraman, bro. Can you like can you imagine sending literally like a video DM to a camera, like a lightman, the ones who hold the lights. That's what I was doing back when I was hunting for clients. I was sending their lightmen, the people who hold their lights, in hopes that they will show them. And crazy, like the craziest thing is that it actually works. It actually works, and that's exactly why I'm sharing this to you and where I am right now, and having we're working with those like big names and having a podcast and all that shit. So listen, these are the lists. Like I said, you go through their WhatsApp or LinkedIn or whatever, and then you get a contact, and through like you research that contact and you'll find new contacts that are linked to them, and all that you list them. Like there is not a contact that is not valuable. Any contact that is anywhere close to him, like in any like distance, it's important. So once you get them, this is like you get the list. Now it's the target circle where these people lie in within, like fit in within the circle, where they're at. I'll explain what I mean by that. This is like Mr. Beast and the business and like the sun. It's very crowded, busy, heat, full of heat. Heat. I don't know if I've pronounced that right, but anyways, let's say this is his girlfriend. She is close to him relatively. Let's say this is his driver. His driver is around here. And I'll tell you what I mean by this. The further they get, like the dots get from the circle, the less noisy their DMs are. But still, they are in the circle. Why is my laptop? Okay, got it back. So you see, the further from the circle they are, the less noisy their DMs are, which is easier entry point for you, but still they're in the circle. Okay? So you are going to do like the target circle. You don't necessarily have to draw this and everything. So you don't have to go through all this bullshit. You could go through it in your mind, and once you're used to it, you just easily you can do that. So the closer it is, these are like the Gmails and the emails and whatever they have, like their job applications, whatever. Like all you do is close to here. The further it gets, auntie, grandma, whatever. Like I said, his driver, like camera crew, and the people. less and less it gets like way less um they get way less busy. So there is higher chance that your DM or your message is gonna get delivered and be seen. So you might say, why the fuck would I be sending Mr. Beast driver a message, and in what way will it help me? Buckle up, the magic is about to happen because I'm about to drop the wisdom. I almost forgot it, but anyways, it'll help you a lot. Okay, and I'll come to that point and how they will help you, because it really worked for me and all the people who are around me now. Talking to them, they just exactly. There was this guy. I was listening to him, Stephen Butler. Um, I almost felt like he was reading back to me my my diary. Literally, see what I did there. So literally, so he was talking about this shit, networking and everything, and he was spot on. Go check him out. So, like I said, you got. So we start from here, like, um, from the target, you identify your target, and then you um identify whether it's a solo one or a bulk one, and then you come to the target list. You list them down, and then you get to the target circle, and now you have identified. By the way, with all these people, like for example, the auntie, um, even if auntie doesn't help you with delivering all that shit, or you may not end up like getting access to your target, at least you got auntie's number, bro. I mean, a win is a win. I'm so funny. But anyways, this is this is pretty much it. The first that this is like the first step. So let's say now you've gotten. By the way, I also have a list here. I just made a note so I don't forget, or you know fuck up the steps and everything. So let me make sure I'm on track. Definitely, definitely, I'm on track. I'm on track. So now let's just go through the step one quickly. Rundown. You have made like identified your target. You've identified your target. You know what you are going for, whether it's a solo one, particularly for a single person, or a bulk. And then you made a list, target list, the people they know, the people remotely, anybody who has connection to them in one way or another. Could be like we said, their barber. You might say, why? Their barber, at least they see their barber twice a month or something. They don't see you twice a month. So he has more, you know, leverage um when it comes to having a connection with them. So he knows something better than you. He's actually making money off them. So you might it'll help you. That's not the reason why you have his number, which I'll explain later, the real reason, but you definitely get the point. So you have all this down. You have the target list, you put all the people, and then you put them in the circle and see who is um further away enough, but still in the circle, but at the same time his um it's not noisy, his DMs and everything, or his or hers is easily approachable, and we can actually talk to them and get replies and everything. So once you do this, the second step is positioning. I know the way I framed it, it definitely seems like something a yeah, but anyways, positioning is very, 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 very important. Um, and how you do that is, first of all, what do I mean by positioning? It's approaching them with the right frame. Like, you don't approach them like you are fucking like potential employee. You approach them as a friend or a partner. And I'll tell you how you do that and how helpful it is, rather than just bluntly going or sending the CVs, like 2 page, 3 page CVs that nobody cares about. It's like I told you, bro, like it's literally a stamp to get you shit directly into the bin. Okay? Don't ever do that. Like all the generic like 2 5 pages of your like fucking experience bullshit. Nobody cares about that. Imagine like I'm not even, bro. This is this is genuine advice. Like imagine if you were them. If it's worth sending them emails, they must be already established and they must be big. I'm assuming that, right? They're already established and shit. So if they have at least been in the industry for at least like 2 3 years, they've been getting at least 10 to 50 or something like that emails per week, like only like applications, job applications. What do you think makes them like, oh, that's Dave or that's, I don't know, Jeffrey, whatever. Let's check his emails and shit. Nobody does that. Nobody cares, bro. So if you're still doing that, get some help. Stop it. Anyways, yeah, that's how like the first step. The second is like I said, positioning, and how you position yourself really matters. We'll discuss that later on, but let's talk about how you like. Let's say now you know how to do all those things. Now it's time to text them. How you do that? I'm about to spit some real game right here. Like I said, if you are assuming that you've already positioned yourself either as a friend or like partner, a business partner, and not some, like I said, potential employee, or you look like a beggar, like in their DMs, like trying to get some attention, like, oh, I'm this and that, like whatever your job is. Let's say I'm a developer or I'm a video editor and I do all this and this and this and that, and I've been working I've been in this industry like for like more than 8, 10, 12 years, and all this shit nobody's gonna read. So now you've positioned yourself, assuming you've changed that mindset and you've positioned yourself as a business partner. How you communicate starts here. It's an art in itself, by the way. Okay. So the first thing that you have to understand when it comes to that is, just think of it as when somebody comes to visit you. Let's say you don't have much of a prior um let's say connection with them. Let's say that they're meeting your family. What is the first thing that they do if they're like guests or new, like to the circle and everything? They give what? They bring gifts with them, right? So it's, even psychologically and culturally, it's been around for quite a minute. That's how people work. Okay. If they're new, if they're a guest, they honor that's a gesture for honor. So you let them in, you welcome and them and have a dinner and have a I've almost slipped. I've almost said something, but yeah. The enemies have not succeeded this time. And I'm not getting banned out of this shit. Still, I'll be around. So um so yeah, what was I talking about? Yeah, about the gifts. So the reason I brought that is because you give before you take. That's how people work. And what you have to do, if you are always like, if you are always trying to take from people, especially if that's your first impression, you cooked. Nobody's gonna look at you, bro. So what you do is give them. So physically, there's nothing you can give them online. You cannot have gifts online unless you buy them one of those Nitro, whatever Discord shit. Don't do that. I don't know if that. I never bought anyone, so try it yourself. But you can't have that. So what can you give? You can give compliments. See, compliments are still gifts. So it's one way or another, you're feeding their ego. So it might be kind of dark here, but that's definitely how you do it. So when you do that, not only you get attention, but at the same time, they will feel like it will make them feel like rude not to reply. Like if somebody says, hey, I like your video or I like this and that, who would not like reply like thank you or something like that? If you do this on their YouTube channel, you're not going to reply because we've already, for the reasons we've already discussed, Red Ocean. But if you do this through their Discord, where their guards are down and it's way more personal, and they probably get no DMs of like job DMs through their Discord. By the way, nobody does this shit. By the way, that like they rarely do people do this thing. Okay, or even if they do, they fell in one of these stages that we discussed earlier. So they never get to this point of compliment and everything. They either fail at targeting it right, or they either fail at sending like I said, all the CVs and everything. So they fuck up early. So they never get to this point. So when you send those, like I said, one, it's like coming to like going up to a person and telling them that you enjoy this and that, like this is what you like about their videos and everything. And also make sure that that's not generic. Make sure that's not that doesn't sound fake. I know we all fake. You fake. I fake. Everyone fakes. We know those compliments are fake. But at least if you show effort, they will at least appreciate the effort. So and instead of just saying I love your videos and this and that, just take your time to watch one of their videos, or you may have already done too. So if you were that interested, you must have already done too. So you just point that out and say like specifically you can um whatever name, whatever section like chapter in their video or whatever, and specifically compliment something that feels real. So when you do that, now you get their attention. Like I said, you give them flowers. It would feel rude to not to take the flowers. All you're saying is, here you go. Here you go. That's all you're doing. You're giving. So that's the principle of life, by the way. This is not, I'm giving you free game. Like I said, I'm giving you way more free games in this bitch. So listen, do that in any, like, even in other areas of your life. Before you ask for something, try to give so people let their guards down and also feel guilty for not even to take the flowers because all you're doing is giving. So, like I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be a Rolex or anything. Just compliments are also gifts because they all feed egos. That's all they do. So, and there is the opposite. Like I said, if you send emails, you know what that is? Or if you send like directly all those things, you're asking for something, which directly means you're asking to take something, which directly ties into the idea of commanding. I don't know if that's the right term, but telling them to do a thing. And like I said, ties back to psychologically, what does that do? It does the exact opposite of what giving flowers do. It shatters the ego, commanding people. One way or another, that's what you are doing when you are asking for a job or anything in their personal messages. It feels like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, let me have my time, personal time, and everything. So, but another way, when you um do like give them flowers, it doesn't sound it could come across that way. So you have to be careful with all this shit. Thank me later for this one. So the second one is also you give them their flowers and they replied, thank you, or whatever. This is just to get their attention. Now you've got their attention. Your message, if it was all the way down here in their Discord or whatever, it's going to be up in the ladder, right? It's going to appear up in there. So even if when you text them or whatever you do, it's gonna appear on the screen, and you're gonna have their attention now. What you do next is, like I said, we're getting darker and darker for some reason, bro. But this is also very, very, very important. Now you've gotten their attention. The second thing you do, you don't rush to your like whatever offer you have. Don't do that. What you do is, like I said, this, by the way, this also ties back to the idea of commanding. When you command, when you ask for something before you give, it's just rude and everything. Also, the second one, how you use their ego in your advantage, is that instead of asking them to give you attention, or what is it, whatever you're offering, like to give you time or energy, whatever you're asking them for you to deliver that. Because if you do that, now you're asking them. So even if you've given them the flowers before, that's not enough like connection with you, emotional connection with you, to trust you to give you more time to hear for what you have to say. So what you do is, instead of asking that, what you do, like I said, is you ask them for a help instead of asking them to give you something. So let me tell you what this does. It's very psychological. People would love to feel like um like the helper, or there's this quote, never outshine the master. This is where you use it to your advantage. They're the masters here. By the way, they could have ignored you anytime. Like, they could have, even whatever compliments you put there, 10, 100 compliments you put there, they could have just ignored you. They're the masters. They have all the power. They don't have to respond to any of your messages, but they have given you attention now. So in order, if you keep on doing this, even though you're giving flowers, the more you do this, it just becomes like the giving in itself becomes an attention of taking, because you're taking attention. So you have to be careful about that. So what you do next, like I said, instead of asking them to do something for you, which is like go through my CV, or go check out my workshop, or check out my, I don't know, portfolio, whatever, you ask them for a help. And let me tell you how you ask them. By the way, you could fuck this up like in millions of ways, so be careful in this one. When you ask for help, here's how you ask for help. You say, for example, if it's, let's say, again, I'm gonna tie back to editing or something, because that's what I have done for quite a minute. So let's say you were editing, and instead of asking them, like sending them your videos or whatever you edit, you say, I've been working like as an editor here and here, whatever. So do you think there is any way that you can that I can improve on this, or whatever? That there are millions of ways you can ask that. You can come up with your own and whatever. So you just don't make it seem like you are looking like to get something from them, but just genuinely asking. Or it could be literally completely out of like that subject of job or whatever. You could just ask them like um about their YouTube channel. By the way, you said you're gonna drop this video and that video. When are you dropping that video, or this and that? Obviously, you have to go through a little bit. You have to do a little bit of research to come up with those questions, but whatever. So now you are creating more emotional intimacy with them. I know that word sounds a bit intimate as it comes, but you get the point, right? So because what you're doing now is training them to get closer to you, because without knowing, when they're replying to you, they're gonna have you in mind, because they have to tailor that to you. So they're gonna be thinking without you, whether you know it or not. Like so, instead of you just being a stranger who just complimented them, you've now taken it a step further. So now you've got you've got your foot in the door, you've talked to them, you complimented them, and now they're helping you. And what's crazy is that what this happens like most of the time. They even ask you further questions on like your question, like you mean by this and that? You mean by this video that I said, or this and that? So this is like the interaction has like it's getting warm and warm. It's just getting you know getting to know each other. Like it's getting prettier, right? And you reply whatever way you want, the best way that complements their whatever perspective, whatever. Here you're not just trying to get out your thoughts, you're just trying to get that fucking job. So um stay focused and have that done. Now after the questions and everything, now they feel like you're not just, it's like you're out of the stranger zone. I made that on the spot, by the way. Use it. Use it. Free. Royalty free. Out of the stranger zone, and now you're getting into the friend zone. By the way, with business, friend zone is a good place to be. Okay, you don't. In fact, you don't want to be anything like further intimate than that. That's gonna too intimate in business is gonna just it does more harm than good. So once you get out of that strange zone and you get into the friend zone, it's there's no better way to say friend zone, right? There's literally no good way to phrase that, but I'm gonna leave that. My bad. But anyways, that's how you get into their DMs and everything. Also, I've yesterday we've gone through all that, right? Like I've gone through all my DMs from like $10 deals to all the $10,000 deals that I've got, like going through my DMs and the screen, like sharing and everything. So go through all that bullshit and see all that everything, like the deals, every message is from saying hi all the way to the screenshots of the payments and everything that I've done. Um I've been done like I did that almost the whole day, bro. So check that out. Um, the what was I about to say? Yeah, this is how you do the third step, and the fourth step. By the way, this is all coming from the top of my mind, bro. You got to at least appreciate the geniusness. Kanye said that, right? Genius. My mental geniusness cannot keep me away. Like cannot keep me up away from my phone. He said this on a meeting, by the way, literally business meeting. He said, why are you why are you not focused on the meeting, or why are you looking in directly into the camera?" And he said, "Yeah, my mental geniusness cannot let me." Classic. But anyways, the fourth one or the third one, whatever step I'm in, I hope you don't mind me because it's coming up from here, like straight with the source. So I might slip here and there. The fourth one is another way of the texting. Like it has an alternative way which works just as good or even better, which is sending videos. And by the way, before you say like it's generic, everybody knows that, there is a deep wisdom in packaging the right video, especially coupled with all the processes that I've given you in the blue ocean, meaning you are in the right place, that there is huge potential that your video or whatever message is going to get delivered. You execute this right, bro, you be in, you be sliding in any time. Yeah. So how you do that is slightly the same with the text version, but kind of different, a little bit different, but it's almost the same. Um, like I said, the principles stay the same. What are the principles? You are a guest, especially when you are a stranger. You start with the gifts. Deliver. So start your video with a little bit of compliments. Don't make it like a 10-minute session, just 30 seconds or something like that. Just pick, like I said, don't make it generic, something that you actually feel like that feels real and that feels less fake. And do that. After the compliment, you get to the You know what? Send them a message. Just like this is gonna be for any time you're gonna send a corporate email or anything, a video, send them like you are sending this to your high school friend who has become got in the position that whatever you're getting, and you are sending him to like join his team. Think of it like that. So how do you send him that video? Because of course now you already have something in common, so you start the video by mentioning something from high school or mentioning your relationship. So it's gonna be genuine. You're not gonna be PR like a corporate trained and everything. It's not gonna be as dry like that. So that's exactly how it works. These people are not walls, bro. At the end of the day, these people feel. So try like all the 1990 um all the corporate like formal shit. It's far gone, bro. Nobody cares about that shit anymore. Nobody cares if you're like in a suit or you're just in, I don't know, whatever like you got on, unless you're naked. And some might enjoy. Hold it in. Hold it in. This is the second time my enemies almost succeeded. So, yeah, some might don't do that, but be as human as possible, bro. Engage, add in some humor, whatever humor it is. And yeah, dark humor is not mostly recommended in this space, but yeah, whatever you want to do. Isn't it ironic that I run out of water in a cup? Goodbye.